next time you go to the supermarket and walk past the rows of fish lined up on ice, you may notice something below the price that says farm raised. That's because more and more of us are eating fish and depleting the ocean's supply rapidly, so fish are being raised for consumption. But fish farming has several drawbacks. And as ABC's Jeffrey Kaufman reports, from several miles offshore, a near perfect solution may be just on the horizon.
It is 6:30 in the morning on the Caribbean Sea, and Brian O'Hanlon is heading out to his farm. As he gets ready to go to work, it becomes clear O'Hanlon is not a traditional farmer. His farm sits far below the ocean's surface. It is a fish farm, and what he's pioneering undersea may be nothing less than the farm of the future. When people hear you tell them that you're a fish farmer, what's the reaction?
They kind of question it. They think it's a little double take. They're like, what?
And what do you say?
And they don't really understand it at first. You have to explain, well, we have cages out in the ocean, and they think that we're catching fish in these cages. We say, no, we're producing these fish in captivity.
This is O'Hanlon's farm. Anchored to the ocean floor, massive underwater cages that look like they came straight from outer space. Unzip the entryway, slip inside, and you do enter another world. There are 15,000 fish in here that will go straight to market and ultimately to someone's dinner plate. As the ocean's fish stocks dwindle and consumer appetite for fish grows, fish farms are becoming the fastest growing food industry in the world. But until now, they have had a bad reputation for producing inferior quality fish and damaging the environment while they do it. This system is designed to be different. O'Hanlon's cages sit 2 miles offshore, 90 feet below the surface, whereas most fish farms sit in simple nets or cages close to shore in the shallow waters of protected bays. They are efficient, but environmentally they can be catastrophic. In many places, the fish food and the fish waste destroy the delicate ecology, creating outbreaks of algae and infecting the fish with sea lice.
We'll just do the rotation and get the fish corralled.
But O'Hanlon's deep-sea system uses fast-moving currents to flush the effluent and keep the waters constantly fresh.
We're growing fish in some of the most pristine environments in the world, out here in the open ocean. And we know every aspect of that fish's life. We know what it's eaten, and we know what kind of water it's been in. So you don't have that risk of any contamination, say, of a fish passing through a polluted water.
This is new science to feed the people of a new century. O'Hanlon's company is working with NOAA, the U.S. government agency, and with the University of Miami to make this pilot project a prototype for future fish farms. Until O'Hanlon builds his own hatchery, and government red tape is making that difficult.
This is how and where it all starts.
O'Hanlon's fish are coming from a hatchery on the campus of the University of Miami. Dr. Daniel Benetti has helped O'Hanlon identify a little-known species called cobia for his fish farm. Cobia grow at 10 times the rate of most other fish, making them an ideal candidate for farming, or aquaculture, as they call it around here.
Open ocean aquaculture in the cages, it's just as good as organic. No pesticides, no antibiotics, no pigments, no medicines, no nothing.
Few Americans realize that more than 40% of the fish we eat comes from fish farms, many of them in Asia, South America, and the Pacific Northwest, and many of them using pigments and antibiotics. What O'Hanlon is doing is not just good science, it is good marketing. Any store that sells fish knows that fish farming desperately needs an image makeover.
There's been a lot of press about farm-raised fish, and some of it was negative.
Johnny Rohde says some of her customers refuse to buy farm-raised fish, but she is seeing more and more of it.
And instead of depleting the population, let's figure out a way to farm-raise them. I see no problems with it. I think it's a great idea.
Back at sea off the coast of Culebra, O'Hanlon and his crew are at work early each morning, feeding their fish pellets that are a combination of fish meal, protein, and vitamins. In this 21st century operation, underwater cameras allow them to watch from the surface as the fish feed, so they know just when to stop.
You are what you eat. You want to know that the product is obviously being produced with with good, clean ingredients. Obviously that it's a healthy product. Our fish here are very high in omega-3 fatty acids, very good for you. And that's because of the ingredients we're using in the feed.
Today, O'Hanlon has 3 cages in the deep sea. Over the next year, he is planning to add 5 more cages so that the farm is viable. And he is negotiating to establish a second deep-sea farm off the coast of Panama.
Now we're growing cobia, but the same system can be used for many other species of fish and in many other conditions and climates.
That big hose connects O'Hanlon's cages to a giant vacuum. It sucks the fish straight from the cages into shipping containers filled with ice. O'Hanlon hopes his cobia and his ecologically friendly deep-water cages are the beginning of a revolution under the sea. He knows there is an insatiable appetite for fish, and he wants his place at the table. For Nightline, I'm Jeffrey Kaufman off the coast of Culebra, Puerto Rico.
The future of the fish we eat. We thank Jeffrey Kaufman for that. Well, let's take another break, and when we come back, this time, the latest on the big winter storms and how snow has arrived in Hollywood.